Good afternoon, and welcome to the Bible Study Studio. My name is Sonia McCullough Lockridge, and I am your host, and I joy to come to you in this fashion. And today is day 8 of 10 of our Word Women 10-day intensive, or our intensive for one Word Women for 10 days. It's one of those. Anyway, today is day 8 of 10 of our 10-day Word Women Intensive. And today the question on the table is, why is reading the Bible in 90 days important? That is the question on the table today. And of course, I am extending an invite for you to join me in the reading of the entirety of the Word this very summer. We will begin our reading on Saturday, June 1st, and hopefully and prayerfully we will end our reading approximately 90 days later, which will be on or about September 1st. So, incidentally, I attempted to read through the Word in a 90-day fashion in 2016. And I failed. I did not read the Word in 90 days, but I read the Word in 105 days. 105 days. So this is a challenge for me as well. So that was 8 years ago, and so it is now time for me to read through the Word again. And I invite you to join me in this challenge. So, why is it important for us to read through the Word in 90 days? Well, one of my favorite theologians, I would say, is Dorothy Kelly Patterson. Dorothy Kelly Patterson. Now, mind you, I have never met her, but I live in Middle Tennessee, and I basically live in the publishing mecca of the world, especially the Christian publishing mecca of the entirety of the world. The Christian Standard Bible is published here in Nashville, as well as all of the Thomas Nelson products, as well as many other Christian publishing companies are located right here in Middle Tennessee. And Dorothy Kelly Patterson is the editor of most women's themed Bibles. She is the editor of most women themed Bibles for the Christian Standard Bible and the Thomas Nelson Bible. She is the editor for most women themed Bibles. And this is her quote. Directly from the Women's Bible that I shared with you the other day. And I have it right here, this Women's Bible right here. This is her quote directly from that Bible. We should labor to complete the broadest survey of the Word as a whole portion in the shortest measure of time. And that is taken from the CSB Study Bible. This is a quote directly from Dorothy. And I believe it because after reading the Word in 105 days, the Lord began to bless me exponentially. And I do believe it's important for the Holy Word of God to dwell in our persons as such. So I personally believe that we consume the Word and it dwells in our person. So here's some other reasons. The Bible helps us to see, reading through the Bible helps us to see who God is and how much He loves us. Reading through the Bible helps us to see who God is and how much He loves us. That's one reason. Number 2, the reading through the Bible helps us to understand why the death of Jesus is such a major big deal. And I would add to that, reading through the Bible helps us understand why the death, burial, resurrection, and returning Jesus is such a big deal. So I would add that and just make that a whole thing. Reading through the Bible helps us to know God's truth so our lives honor and please Him. Reading through the Holy Word of God helps us to know God's truth, and it also helps us to live our lives in such a way that honors and pleases Him. Number 4, gaining a God mindset which will guide our thoughts and our actions it should be our ultimate priority. Should be our ultimate priority. Gaining a God mindset should be our ultimate priority. So that I had to look at my notes, make sure I had everything that I wanted to say to us today in regards to reading the Holy Word of God in 90 days. This summer of 2024, we're going to do it. The challenge is called, and you will learn more about that tomorrow. The challenge is called the Can Do Challenge, which I created, I think, in 2018. I created the Can Do Challenge in 2018. Of course, in 2016, I think it was either 2015 or 2016, I read through the entire Bible in 105 days. Mind you, not 90 days, which it is my goal and my intention and my aim to read through the Holy Word of God in 90 days this summer, this year. And I challenge you to join me, and I will be right here every day for 90 days with our journaling. We're going to journal through the Word over the course of 90 days, and we have plenty of notes, plenty of space to write notes, to note the genre that we're reading of the book, be it Genesis, Jeremiah, Revelation. You'll have the opportunity to journal the genre of the book we're reading. Of course, we talked about genres yesterday. We are not doing a deep dive of genres and all of that. No. Our only purpose this summer is to walk around and see the sights and smell the smells and savor the taste of the entirety of the Las Vegas style buffet of the Holy Word of God. That is our only purpose this summer. We are not trying to study. No, we are trying to consume. Our aim is to consume. Our aim is to consume. And the other reason it's important for us to consume the entirety of the Holy Word of God is so we will be prepared to study. It's so we will be fully prepared to study. Because when we study, we go back and forth between the texts, back and forth between the entirety of the Word is what our study asks us to do. And preparation for study is the read-through. Preparation for selection of what's on the buffet is the walk around. The walk around and taking in the sights of the buffet so we can later comprehend them. So right now this summer, it is not about full-on comprehension. Yes, we want to comprehend what we're reading. yes, we want to note what we're reading, but we are not studying. This is not study. This is a read through. This is a walk around the entirety of the Word of God, looking and smelling and seeing and tasting all that His Word has to offer our persons as nutrients to sustain us in this time. Got a little bit on a tangent there because I really need for us to understand that once we have a good grasp of the Holy Word of God, then we can move on into our study. And we can spend the next 9 months studying. We can read for 3, study for 9. Read for 3, study for 9. That's all I have for us today. I invite you to read through the entirety of the Holy Word of God with me this summer. And I will be here with you every single day with the notes that I have taken on our read through. With the very simple notes. The date I read, the time and the place I read. And what I deem to write and record in my read through. And hopefully and prayerfully, one of the first things I will write and record will be the genre. But we are only briefly notating the genre because our purpose is to read the Word. And incidentally, just a little bit about me. My dad was a Air Force mechanic. His job, he enlisted in the Air Force at the age of 17. He would have been valedictorian of his class had he graduated high school. He retired with 20 years of service from the military. And during that time, my dad read through the entirety of the Word of God 7 times. 7 times in his one lifetime. And I want to be like him. I want to be like my dad, long departed from this earth, but longly and lovingly in my heart. This is Sonia McCullough Locker signing out for the Good News Sunday Show, Keyword Bible Studies, Bible Study Studio, and so much more. Thank you, and have a blessed day in the Lord.